Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about and reintroduce the horses that I take care of on a regular basis that you see in the videos. So let's get started.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, save me?
All right, so starting out with my horses, we're going to start with Rio. He is 23 years old. I have had him since about 2017. He was a close friend's horse. It was her first horse, actually, and she got out of horses and really wanted somebody who was going to take him in, who she trusted. She was like, I'll give him to you. Like, just, I don't want him going just anywhere because I really care about him. So I thought this would be a good opportunity. Buddy was starting to get older, and he would get to a place where I couldn't ride him anymore. So Rio is now 23. He has aged a lot over the past year and a half or so. At this point, there's a lot of health things that we're trying to figure out. But, you know, overall, he's a very happy-go-lucky horse. He's kind of grown to be more of an old man. But at the same time, there's several times I'll come down to the barn and he'll trot up to me when I'm walking out to the pasture to get him, or he'll canter, or he'll want to be all in my business. And it's just precious. He's got a lot of life in him still. And he's really just a sweet older man. He's just kind of really gotten into his older age. And, you know, the thing is horses age differently. Some horses age very quickly. Some horses, they stay seemingly young forever. And it just depends on genetics and things like that. But he's great. I've enjoyed being around him. And he's such a love bug. I can just squeeze on him, love on him, cuddle him, and he's just precious. And I've really enjoyed having him around. Next up, we have Dash. He is my 18-year-old quarter horse, and he is my barrel horse. So we are currently working real hard. He is a bay, got this beautiful long blaze down the front of his face. He is a bit on the spicy side. He definitely has a stubborn streak, more so than I've had to deal with before as far as owning my own horses. I've definitely dealt with stubborn horses in the past. He's great. He's actually a lot more affectionate than you'd think. Getting to know his personality, he's just a little bit more, he thinks he's a bit more uppity than he is, as far as he likes to pretend like he's the boss out in the pasture. But really, in all actuality, he's probably number 3 on the totem pole of all the horses out there. And he's precious, and he loves little babies. One time someone had babies out, and they were standing next to the fence, and he just wanted to sniff their little toes. He was so interested in babies. He's a lot of fun to ride, and he's very enjoyable to be around. But overall, I've really enjoyed having him. We're coming up on, I think, 3 years that we've been together. No? Yeah, 3 years. So that's pretty amazing. I'm very excited and very happy to have him. And I can't wait for us to get our journey started. I know he's 18, but he is a solid, had all the training barrel horse. So it's just a matter of getting to a place where we can start going. And hopefully, with my trailer fixed and getting the training that we're getting with him being trailered, we can finally get started. And that's Dash, and he's precious. Next up, we have Chimney. And Chimney is the first of the 2 horses I take care of for my trainer. Chimney is also 23. And when I said before, horses age very differently, you can definitely tell when it comes to comparing Rio, especially in his current condition, with his health issues, and Chimney. Now, Chimney technically has the same thing that Rio does, but he obviously has a much milder case of it. Now, again, we are assuming that this is what Rio has without actually doing a bunch of tests. Like, again, I told you we're going to be doing some more stuff with that. for now, he's happy and healthy. He's happy, and he doesn't seem to be under a lot of stress, so we're just kind of leaving him as he is. But Chimney, as you can tell, he is extremely healthy, looks very young for his age. He acts very young for his age as well. This horse is quite spicy, and by spicy, I mean spicy. There's a reason the red horses are, ooh, that's a red horse. He is a lot of fun to ride. I've ridden him several times in lessons and things. In fact, one time, it was a night he was especially excited, and I actually was having to pull back on him and kind of hold him together so much that I actually got little tiny rope burns from the reins on my pinkies, which is crazy. He's very sensitive when it comes to like direction, things like that. I would call him the grumpy old man. He's kind of a loner. He doesn't always have to be around everybody, but at the same time, he and her other horse, Britches, are buddies, and I see them sometimes out in the pasture playing around and enjoying each other and fighting. It's adorable. And that brings me to Britches. Britches is that beautiful red roan. He's huge, and he not only is taller than everybody else, but he's also rounder than everybody else. And if you've ever ridden him bareback, you can definitely tell. And I know it seems weird that you would tell more riding him bareback than riding him in a saddle. Like, you would think that the extra saddle would make him seem so much larger, but no. That bareback makes you feel like you're riding a big giant barrel and like you're getting your legs stretched around, which is hilarious. But he's a lot of fun. He's a good horse. He's got a little bit more go. He's younger. He's about, I think he is either 6 or 7 now. Maybe a little older. I don't know. It's been a while since we talked about his age. He is precious. He's got a lot of good personality. He is a goofball. He is a big goofball. He is just a goober, and it's hilarious because every year we put on blankets when it gets below a certain temperature. It has to be really cold to put on blankets because for the most part, the horses grow the winter coat that they need. And we try not to blanket before December 21st, unless it's an extreme, like in the teens, obviously. And especially Rio, since he's getting older and he's not as thick as everybody else, fat-wise. Every year when I go to put a blanket on Britches, he always acts like he's never seen a blanket in his life, and it's scary and it's going to eat him. It's the same blanket he gets put on every year, and even every time we put it on during blanket season, he's very skittish. And for some reason, every once in a while, he gets a wild hair up his rear end and just decides, I'm going to be spooky today, and I'm going to be spooky at the most dumb things that I have never been spooked at before. And then other times you get on him and he can seem like the laziest horse alive, and it's like, man, you could put a bomb next to him and he wouldn't freak out. Which is why it's important to understand that there is no such thing as a bomb-proof horse. No horse is completely bomb-proof. Yes, they might be mostly bomb-proof, meaning that most of the time they're not going to react. But the thing is, you have to understand, there is something out there they're going to react to. It's just whether you're going to come across it or not in your lifetime with your horse. Anyway, so those are the 4 that I am taking care of consistently, and you will pretty much consistently see in my videos. Sometimes I ride Britches. Sometimes I might even have Chimney out and lunge him. I don't typically ride him. I like to ride him sometimes if the trainer's here and she's like, hey, can you jump on Chimney for me, blah, blah, blah. We'll do a lesson with Chimney or something like that. But otherwise, I try not to get on him as much, especially with him getting older and him being like, that's her baby. That's her baby. She's had him since he was a year old, I think, and he's 23. So she's had him for a very long time. I think he was a year old. He might have been 2 or 3. I can't remember. He was very young though, and she's had him for a very long time, so he's very important to her. Britches is young, dumb, and stupid and needs exercise because he's fat. He is overweight. I wish that some of that could be transferred over to Rio. Again, we're trying some different things. There are the occasional other horses like Penny, who I sometimes feed because she kind of did the same thing Rio did and dropped a bunch of weight kind of suddenly, and she just seems to not be able to get it all the way back. She'll seem to get there, and then all of a sudden it'll drop, and then she'll kind of get there, and then it'll drop. So we're just trying to figure out what's going on with our horses. And so anytime I get a chance to feed her a little extra, every once in a while I will. You'll see Kiss and you'll see Jewel, which are my barn owners' horses, and they're precious. There's several others, and I think one day what I'll do is I'll take clips of all the horses and give you names and everything, but we'll save that for another video. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!